ECSL, the PPRC, and ONS from their own perspective?
When it comes to elections, related violence in elections, I mean, ONS is the competent authority to talk about. When you talk about supervising the functions or the role of political parties, you now rely on PPRC to tell you how they deal with political parties. And the conduct of elections itself, you now turn to ECSL, because I mean that's their niche, that's where that's their province, that's what they have control over. So for us who were there, I mean, who listen to them, you will learn a lot about those violences that had happened in about 6 or so elections in Sierra Leone, and how to mitigate violence in elections. So I mean that's the kind of environment we had with the EMBs. It was a closed session, but I mean their views, their concerns were captured again by the consultant.
So let's talk on the ECSL and that of the PPRC, because we knew before now when this particular proportional representation was advanced by ECSL, there were so many, public conversation on different things. Now in 2 elections, 2 systems were used. So let's talk about the experiences that they shared. I'm not talking about you preempting the report, but just the experiences that they shared conducting 2 different elections using 2 different systems, 2018 and that of 2023.
Well, again, you learned something very, 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 very new, because what ECSL did was to provide data, statistics, and when they talk with statistics, they tell you about the data, the information they have collected over time regarding the use of these 2 systems, about funding, which is a huge challenge in elections, because election requires a lot of funding, a lot of preparations, a lot of commitments, about procurement processes of election materials, about a lot of data, a lot of the polling stations, the polling agents, of course, how do they deal with them? How do they procure these materials? The tabulation, counting. So all of these steps requires a lot of expertise to go into them. So they will tell you how all of that are being implemented in elections, and how to also improve on the conduct of what they do. So all of this information was shared, and we learned a lot about how they go about these processes, and again how they would improve on these processes, so that once election results are out, all of us as a country who own the process, who own the outcome of our elections.
Okay, so continue to stay with us. He is Alimami Lahai Kamara, the communications expert of the Tripartite Secretariat. Well, we move on to another headline issue of us today that has to do with the SLPP. The ruling Sierra Leone People's Party, SLPP, has successfully conducted its 14th National Delegates Conference in Freetown, marking another significant milestone in the party's history. Over the course of the 2-day conference, national officers were elected, a process labeled as both peaceful and purposeful. Addressing the conference, the party's leader and president of Sierra Leone, Dr. Julius Madabio, described the gathering as a moment of pride, purpose and responsibility. He emphasized that the national executives must uphold the values of integrity, unity and shared vision, values he believes should resonate throughout all levels of the party. But the question now is, how will this renewed vision be brought to life with this new executive of the SLPP? In the studio, we have the newly elected public relations officer of the Sierra Leone People's Party, Moses Mambo. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Sierra Leone.
Good morning and good morning, viewers.
Congratulations once more on your election, the newly elected PR person for the SLPP.
Thank you.
So, firstly, I want to say Moses Mambo is a new kid in the block, and you are able to get such, a massive vote, that type of votes. Will you, in a brief, just give us the experience? What was the experience like?
It's about the ability to lay a case. Now in PR, you need to know your audience, and you need to understand how to map your audience. If you know your audience and you're able to map your audience, you'll be able to effectively communicate to your audience for them to understand the position you're taking at a particular time. As a party, I believed that we are on a crossroad. We are about to make history for our party for the first time. So delegates, we are painstakingly listening to all candidates across all positions. And in the SLPP, our delegates are so smart, beautiful people. They take responsibility and pride in making decisions that will make or break the political party, which is SLPP. So my approach was both leaning on the past, but also bringing in new ideas that when you blend both together, it will give you an old and new energy that will bring the voices of members of this party together so that we can lay the foundation to win the 2028 elections. What happened on the 30th and 31st? A lot of people were surprised, but I was not, because I had a message that resonated with the delegates, and the delegates had a mission to make sure they put together a barrage of energetic young people headed by our chairman, Jimmy Batilio Songa, who is a brigadier himself, political brigadier, that is ready to take on the armor of the SLPP that will lead us to victory. So our delegates were laser focused in making sure they identify the talent that will not only stand up to diffuse the lies of the APC and other opposition political parties, but will also lay the foundation that will be able to coalesce around the leader of this party, who is His Excellency the President, so that the SLPP as a political party will synergize, will bring together its members, will work to recruit more members, and then will position itself to continue winning elections. Because that is the mission.
Mr. Mambu, since your election as the new public relations officer of the Sierra Leone People's Party, there has been several public conversations, on how Moses Mambu emerged as the winner with such a massive vote, over 400, 700 votes. You understand? Some were saying your messaging of saying I am coming for the APC, saying that we are going to debunk and this all and so. And others are banking on saying it's as a result of the camp that you belong to, that poured money on the delegates. So I want you to speak for yourself. Which one of those, led you to emerge as the winner of this particular position?
So for me, in all of this case, I am among few people who do not belong to any camp at all. The only camp I belong to is the camp of the leader of this party, which is His Excellency President Julius Madabi. I am unapologetic about that. I came into this race with specific objective. Number one, to change the face on how we interact using our voice with our party members and the general public. Number two, to bring in new ways, methods on how we can connect with especially young voters and those who have felt left out of the party architecture. Number three, to make sure I protect the legacy of the leader of this party, His Excellency the President. Because if we do not use our voice to protect the legacy of His Excellency the President, it will be an